Here now, sure is a lot to say. #1 New York Times bestseller, 16 weeks in a row on that list. I call him the Great One, the host of Life, Liberty, and Levin, the #1 show here Sunday nights at 10. Whoops. Nationally syndicated host. Call him the Great One for a reason. Great One, just do your thing. Break it down from your perspective.
Well, we got a lot to cover. Short period of time. You know, after I watched this hearing, it's like waterboarding, by the way. I wrote this to myself. I said, when it comes to Trump, the Democrats and media are like drug addicts looking for their next fix. Their eyes are popping out of their head. The sweat beads are coming down their face. They raise their voices. They swing their hands. They become disgruntled and all the rest. They're really freaking out. Now, this is, we're told, August 12th, the rogue CIA agent's complaint. It's dated August 12th. It's to Richard Burr in the Senate and Adam Schiff in the House. If the date is correct, that means Adam Schiff has had this for many weeks. First of all, as a practicing lawyer, I went through this. And I can tell you that a CIA agent who is a policy guy for Ukraine can't write something like this. This is a legal brief. This was vetted through lawyers, and I want to know who wrote this. I want to know who participated in writing this. I want to know who this man spoke to, every single one of them. In the New York Times today, which of course runs cover for the Democrats and goes after the President of the United States, talking about a drug fix, they say today that this man's lawyer, who, by the way, worked for Schumer and Clinton, doesn't want the identity of this man known. Too bad, pal. Too late. You want to impeach our president using this BS? We want to know all about your guy. And I love today's hearing where they wrap this guy in the whistleblower statute. Whistleblower statute? This guy could have been a homeless guy coming off the street talking to people. He knew nothing. Oh, I heard. He heard that certain people over at the White House who are monitoring the conversation and wrote notes about it were upset. He heard that. Isn't it funny that not a single one of the people with firsthand knowledge filed a whistleblower complaint? Not one of them. This guy files it. This guy is represented by Democrats. This guy files it. I want to know if Adam Schiff, the Democrat staffers, or any Democrats were involved in orchestrating this leak and coup campaign. Did it in Russia? Did it with Kavanaugh? It's the same damn thing. This is a rogue CIA agent. You know, people might say, but it's the CIA. Look what they did to the FBI. Look at this guy, Brennan, a complete reprobate. They exist. There are rogue operations. You know, when the CIA overthrew the Iranian government years ago, the liberal Democrats were upset. When they overthrew Allende in Chile, a socialist Marxist, the Democrats were upset. When they tried to overthrow Castro, the Democrats were upset, and so forth and so on. But when they try to overthrow our president, they're whistleblowers. They're heroes. They are courageous. Mr. Schiff, why don't you release 90 days of your phone calls, 90 days of your texts, 90 days of your emails? Because I know something, pal. You're a leaker. You're devious. Same with your staff. Do you want Nancy Pelosi went to the microphone and announced, like a dictator, we are going to begin official, formal, an impeachment inquiry, which of course she can't do. She's one, may I say, knucklehead out of 435 in the House of Representatives. She's from San Francisco. It doesn't work that way. Now, why, everybody, why would she do that before she got the transcript? Why? Because she had this, or she knew about it, the little rogue CIA operative. This document is 1,000 times worse than the actual transcript, which isn't even cited in this document because this rogue CIA agent never had this document. Now, they're trying to rewrite this document to try and get it to work with this document. The President of the United States phone call has nothing wrong with it. The President of the United States. It's a long conversation. I notice in the media, they're kind of moving sentences around, trying to attach things. Why don't you read the whole thing? Take 10 minutes, rather than attacking the President for your fix, and read the whole thing so the American people will hear it. But you won't do that. Why? Well, I have a question. Why shouldn't the President of the United States in a conversation with the President of Ukraine say, hey, look, would you take a look at this? We've had news reports News reports. We have entire books written about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden obstructing justice in the Ukraine, blackmailing the Ukrainian government. President's supposed to sit there and act stupid? No, he says, you know what, among 1,000 other things, you might want to look into this. Wow, that's an impeachable offense. Why is that? You now have 4 United States senators who did far more than that. 3 of them, Leahy, Menendez, and Durbin, who insisted that the Ukrainian government investigate our president. You had another one, Murphy, from Connecticut, who insisted that the Ukrainian government not invest Biden. How come they're not facing ethics complaints? How come they're not facing expulsion acts in the United States Senate? And finally, let me ask you a question. Where the hell are the Republican chairmen in the Senate? Why aren't they issuing subpoenas? Why don't they pretend they're Elijah Cummings or Jerry Nadler? Or Schiff, for that matter. I know it's an ugly thought, but issue your 100 subpoenas. Go after their bank accounts. Go after their friends. Go after their relatives. Go after their accountants. Go after their records. And if they don't give them, and that goes for you too, Biden. And if they don't go for it, hold them in contempt. That's it.
Great one. Let me show you one thing. By the way, Shokin told ABC, Washington Post, John Solomon, yeah, I quote, that the prosecutor said, Shokin himself, the one who was fired in 6 hours, Biden got me fired to save his son. He's now signed an affidavit under the threat of perjury. Let me show you what the president was really looking at. This isn't the vast right-wing conspiracy. This is Politico. It says a 32-minute read. I'll read you the headline. It says, Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. Kiev officials are scrambling to make amends with the president-elect after quietly working to boost Clinton. The date, 1/11/2017. Where are all the people that cared about election interference? They interfered.
We know what's going on here.
And they've been offering it. All right, great one. Thank you. Congrats on the book.
We know what's going on.
All right, Mark, Sunday night, every Sunday night at 10 Eastern here on the Fox News Channel.